Alrighty, we're gonna get right into it on this one. And ladies and gentlemen, I do not feel good. I am sick, but it's okay. I'm glad I got sick right now instead of at Gold Cup or at Tulare or at Placerville. So, yeah, name of the game. Want to be feeling good here in the next couple days. My mom's got the what do I like to call that? She uses like a gypsy or I don't know, old Indian remedies, like a bunch of herbs and spices and teas, and that's what Stevie's got me on as well. So, yep. Just wanted to say, first and foremost, thank you to the whole Santa Maria facility for just putting on all these races this year. I much appreciate it. I really enjoy coming here, and yeah, I'm really glad that Pombo's brought it back, and then the Cusacks are now dumping a bunch of money in the Toyota Santa Maria into this place, and a track that I grew up watching my dad race at, so it just means a lot to be a part of it, and to win 3 out of 4 races here is absolutely incredible. If you would have told me that was going to be my season this year, I don't know if I would have believed you. I would have said I'm going to try my hardest, but trying's a failure word, so I would have said we're going to focus on what we're going to focus on, and whatever pans out is going to happen. And, oh, Michael, I'm on Discord right now, by the way, for those of you that are wondering, and, yeah, Michael and I have our face cams on, and, Michael's going to know exactly what the heck I'm talking about when he watches the video right now. So, okay, well, let's focus, Caleb, focus. But I need to not look at that. And, yeah, but first and foremost, thank you to everyone that's helped me out this season. The Woodlands, David Cry especially, Inland Rigging, Kia Paso Robles, Corvette Pacifica, Modi Coaching. Without Kevin, none of this would really even be a thought in my mind. And my parents, of course, Michael, Robert, Stevie, MJ, everyone that's helped out, Connor, Jesse, this weekend, everyone that's really just been a part of this journey this year. It's incredible what we've been able to accomplish. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. I know there's people like Trackstar with the RC cars. Check them out, shopcaleb.com. There's been so many people that reach out on Facebook, a lot of people that don't want to be named that help out on my race car and just do it for the generosity of the sport, and none of it would even be possible without everyone doing their little part. And yeah, I'm just extremely grateful and thankful for the opportunity to do what I love and try and do it for a living. So not try and do it for a living, I'm working my best to make this my career, and it's becoming a possibility, and we're just dumping all the money that we make on the shirts and everything back into this. So thank you guys for supporting shopcaleb.com as well. But let's get into the analytics. It's time now. And first and foremost, I just want to say, whenever I hop back into a non-wing car, it's the weirdest feeling. Like in qualifying, hot laps was our qualifying, and it made me a little bit more calm because I know I usually hot lap really well because I don't really have a care in the world about how I hot lap, and I just feel out the car. So I approached hot laps like that, even though it was our qualifying, and the car just felt amazing as always. This car makes my job look extremely easy. And one thing that makes me a little hesitant when I get back into the non-wing car is just it's not something I'm extremely used to. Like, I'm not used to the floating feeling on entry and letting the car rotate for me. I'm used to the wing slamming me down. Like, whenever I get into a wing car, I know what I'm going to feel every corner, and I know what I'm getting myself into. And if I do feel certain things, like if the track's greasy, hooked up rough, blah, 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 etc., I know kind of how to handle it because that's what I do. I race wing cars. And the non-wing car, I'm just kind of, I'm there. Like, I'm just taking it as it comes, corner by corner. And I don't really know what to expect whenever I get back into a non-wing car after running a wing car for so long. And yeah, so it takes me a couple of laps, but I felt like my first couple of laps were pretty effortless. Like, this car, it just rotates it. It feels like a second home to me, and it makes my job so easy. This car is a rocket ship, and we went quick time. We set a new track record. That was awesome. And now it's time to start in the heat race. All we had to do was get fourth, and I knew we were going to get fourth. There wasn't a doubt in my mind. I just knew I had to kind of stay cool, calm, and collected and just take each corner and each lap. And whenever opportunities were presented to me, I just knew I had to capitalize on it. And I watched and looked at the racetrack, and I knew from the previous races that I had been running here that if you could stick a couple lines like the bottom, it would prevail in the end, and all you had to do was hit it on the exit, because the diamond in 3 and 4 really tends to work out in your favor just because they can't really get the top that wet coming off of 4. I don't know why, because the sun really doesn't beat on it like it does on the backstretch, but this track just forms and shapes really weird, and I feel like just how much I've ran here this year, it just really helps me understand the track and understand where the lines are at and just where I can really run it. And when we got up into second, I really had no ambitions of winning this heat race. I honestly just wanted to feel out the course of the whole entire track and how I could connect certain corners, how I could run the top, where I could get away with running it harder, because this track, it looks like it has a lot of grip, but there isn't a lot of grip in it. They mixed in some new dirt with it, and it's not the typical juiced up Santa Maria where you can just lay on the gas. So you really have to think about it. And I know that you can 50-50 grind the whole entire berm all the way around. I watched all the other heat races, and no one, I feel like, 50-50 grinds the berm like I do. And I just know that if you can get your rear tires in the grip is there, but you have to get your rear tires in the grip. And there's no rule saying you can't 50-50 grind the bottom, so yeah, I mean, let's go for it. And same for 1 and 2. If you can get your left rear in that grip and your right rear by 50-50 grinding the berm, you're going to have so much more grip than the guy that's trying to do the cut down line. Or even if they miss the top, like Cody was kind of messing up a little bit and getting over the crease in 1 and 2, and that allowed me to get a really good run right there. And I know where to slide people and how to execute a slider here at Santa Maria. I feel like that's kind of my strong suit, is making passes at Santa Maria, and then logging laps. I feel like anybody can really log fast laps here as long as they're comfortable. But yeah, there's no lockout rule, so had to drop hill for the feature, and I drew 74 out of 75, so that was sick. That put us starting 6th. Luckily there wasn't 4 heats and made us start 8th, but yeah, it didn't really phase anything. So I just knew if I got up in the grip and I had the downhill water momentum, it was going to be a good start. And thank you, Trent, for giving me lots of room right here. He totally could have floated. I kind of waited for him to float up after he kicked that little hole, but he didn't, and he left me lane. So thank you, Trent, for racing me really clean and respectfully, and I do really appreciate that. And now for the second restart, I knew, like, hey, let's get out of line a little bit more. Let's try and be a little bit higher than these guys, and whenever Cody starts to turn, that's when we're going to turn, and that's when we're going to go. And Trent kind of missed the bottom on it, so then that gave me a full open lane, but that also gave Austin the full lane. I don't know why he tried to go to the bottom right there, because the bottom is never the answer coming off a 2, and Tuttle lost so much momentum just sliding up the track, and that really just gave me a massive opening just to slide him going to the next corner. And I feel like running with the high limit and outlaw guys is what it's really honed in on me, is capitalizing on opportunities like that. Like, there could be multiple opportunities where I could just run the top and be like, oh, I don't know where he's going to go into the next corner, but you got to really trust your instincts and give it 110% on moves like that and put yourself in these positions, because I knew that this race wasn't going to be easy by any manner, but if I could get myself into second, that was going to be the defining factor of this race, is getting myself into second and pacing the leader and waiting until lap traffic, because it was only going to be a matter of time before we hit lap traffic. And I was kind of honestly just waiting and waiting until lap traffic, but I kind of felt like on a restart that was also going to be my other time to shoot my one in the chamber. And Cody actually got really good restarts, and he was kind of defending and he was blocking the slider, so I couldn't fully let the slider rip, and I was giving him a little bit of lane, but I also had so much grip on the bottom that I didn't feel like I had to slide all the way up. It would have been beneficial to slide all the way up, but it wouldn't. I wanted to race Cody clean. And same thing with right here. Like, I knew that he was kind of shortening up his corner to block me or to get a really good slide, but I don't think that was the best way to slide. You could really keep so much momentum up and open up the apex and then hit the grip and then slide even further to the exit of 2 and hit the grip off the exit. And then now I was thinking, like, okay, if Cody goes to block the slider again, I can't keep on doing the same thing. So let's just run the top. I noticed that he goes to block the slider, and I peppered it off in there hard, baby, hard, because I thought there was a lot of grip up there, and there was not a lot of grip. And we kind of put ourselves in a pickle, so now it was really time to get the elbows out. And it was time to race like it was high limit right now, because like I said earlier, I had to be in second. In order to win this race, I needed to be in second at every single opportunity, every single restart, and just wait for lap traffic. So I got a little defensive right there so Tuttle didn't have an opportunity to slide me, because I felt like he was going to try and slide me. Do I think I needed to do that? No, I did not, because the crossover was way too good in 3 and 4, and I could have just hit a crossover on him. But at the end of the day, it worked out. So we really got our elbows out right there, and I split a couple of gaps that I probably didn't need to split, but it worked out, and everyone was giving me a lot of room, so I was thankful for that. And same thing again, but I know Cody's going to block the slider, and we just have to be a little bit more precise. You got to be underneath the crest here in 1 and 2, and as long as we're underneath the crest, you're going to be okay, and hit the grip coming off a 2, you're going to be okay. Cody got a little bound up, so then I'm like, okay, I thought he was going to slide himself, but he didn't, and he tried to stick the bottom, and we ended up sticking the bottom just a little bit better than him. I thought he was going to lift and come back down into me, and I was going to run over his front end, but I wasn't going to give up the opportunity to lead the race. So I just stuck the bottom and hoped that Cody wouldn't lift and try and turn down into me like Danny Sheridan did the first time we came here, but he didn't. He gave me a lot of room, and he was extremely respectful, and thank you for that, Cody. And now it's time to execute some restarts. And on this restart, I was kind of just flirting with it. I didn't want to block my slider because I just wanted to get as much momentum up as possible and try and just extend my lead instantly right off the rip and execute 1 and 2 as the best I possibly could. And now it was time to really feel out 3 and 4, and the track changed a lot in 3 and 4, and I felt like I was moving around a lot, trying to notice the track, look at it, just trying to pay attention to where every single line changed. And yep, 24 Hours of Santa Maria. We have another yellow coming up after this because I'm looking at all my clips, but same thing again. Get the good diamond, get my left front up on the berm, make sure both of my rear tires are in the grip. If both of the rear tires are in the grip, you're going to be able to propel yourself forward. And then same coming off of 2. As long as all 4 of your tires are up in the grip on the exit of the corner, you're going to be able to propel yourself way better down the back stretch than anyone else that's trying to run slider line, cut down the bottom. That's just how the track was tonight. It changes every single night, but you're not allowed to walk the track at Santa Maria, and I get yelled at every single time I do, but any day I'd rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission, because I tried to ask for permission and they told me no, so I was like, okay, I'm going to wait. And then during intermission or something, I just walk out there and they're like, you can't walk the track, and I'm like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, I was just finishing up, I'm so sorry. And yeah, I'm going to hit him with that 10 out of 10 times every single time. So sorry, Chad or Pat or anyone who's listening to this, but I'm going to do that every single time. I need every advantage I can, and I don't come here to play patty cake or picnic. I come here to win these races, and I come here to compete at my best. And I feel like one of the things that makes me compete at my best is walking the track and seeing where the track is its best. And if I'm going to be deterred by a little sign that says don't walk the track, when I know, yeah, I'm going to walk the track. I want to walk the track. I want to see where the lines are at. I want to see where I can run. And yeah, I feel like that's a big part of dirt track racing, is these tracks change a lot, and especially throughout the course of a 30-lap main event feature. Sorry, guys. But as you can see, I'm kind of just starting to flirt with moving up a little bit. I can see that the crumbs are getting a little bit higher in 3 and 4, and I don't know if that's because whoever's behind me is trying to run it up a little bit higher and harder, or if I'm the guy that's blowing up the crumbs. But every time I would blow up the crumbs, it felt good up there, so I was like, okay, I don't know, let's try and enter a little bit higher, enter above the holes, and get that grip right there in the middle and kind of use it to push ourselves back down. But if I hit it a little bit wrong, I couldn't really propel myself forward enough. But I was seeing, I really honestly don't feel like I hit the same line too often in 3 and 4. Like, I would try to really enter above the hole and keep like my left front or the center of my radiator above it, and depending on how much throttle I gave it and how much grip, I would just try to keep my foot at, like, let's say 25%, and wherever the car really wanted to go, I felt like as long as I kept my foot good and I kept my tires underneath me, I was going to be able just to efficiently run the whole entire corner. There was no sense of me trying to blast it and rip the top all the way around. I feel like that's what ended up getting Austin Williams, is he was trying to blast the top all the way around and smack the wall off the exit and snap rolled the thing. And yeah, that's just what happens whenever you're trying to push it 100%. And now it's time for the lap cars, and this was where my patience and persistence, I feel like, really prevailed, because I was very cool, calm, and collected, and understood that as long as I was able to get around these guys, it wasn't going to be the end of the world if I just lifted in one straightaway and waited for them to go to the opposite line as me, because I was trying to pay attention about 3 cars in advance is where I'm looking. And I know that these guys are really making their corners wide, so as long as I could get enough run and keep my foot calm and consistent, that's what got me the lead in the first place, and I know that's what's going to propel me around these guys in the corners. So that's what I'm mainly focused on, and I'm noticing that everyone's just running the bottom. So there's really no sense for me to overthink or overwork myself and have to think too hard. And I know that as long as I get my nose on him on the straightaway, like that one was a little sketchy. I didn't know if that guy was going to come up and hit me or what he was going to do. But, oh, Pombo's saying goodbye to me. See you, Mijo, on the Discord. But, yeah, sorry, I got a little sidetracked. But yeah, and then John DeWeese, yeah, this was, he tried to race me back, and I thought I was going to hop his right front right here. total public service announcement, John, if you do watch my videos, I do not appreciate lap cars racing me back. I know that he wasn't really racing me back right there, but I felt like he actually tried to pass me back. And if you're a lap car and you try to pass me back, that is not cool in my book. If that happens, then the next time I come around to lap you, I'm going to slide you from 10 years back, and I'm going to treat it like it's a high limit race. And not like that I'm going to aim at your left front, but I'm going to, if you're going to race me back and you're going to race me hard, I'm going to race you hard. And the way that I race people hard is if I think I can clear you and put you in a position where you have to lift, I'm going to put you in that position. And not saying anything, I don't want to wreck people or nothing, but I am going to throw a slider from wherever I think I can clear it and maybe clip your front bumper or your left front wheel, because I don't want to be raced back. If that would have been a race-defining situation right there where you slide me and get the crossover on me and pass me back, I don't like that whenever lap cars race people back. If I'm a lap car and I get raced back, or and I start racing people back, no, I pull off whenever I get lapped. That's just how I am. I don't want to interrupt a leader's race, and I sure the hell don't want to try and race someone back and trying to cross them back over on a slider. But with that being said, he didn't do anything, so thank you for that. But I always feel like John always tries to race me back whenever I do lap him, and I do not appreciate that. But thank you for being respectful and giving me the lane and not coming all the way up into me and just getting a little bit too close for comfort and making me eke a little bit in my seat. But now we're just back to the same thing. We see the big pack in front of us, and the flagman just gave me the 5 to go signal. I believe, yeah, it was right there, or the lap before. So I knew that we were coming up on some closing laps, and it was really time to just execute. And we had an open red right there, and I asked my dad, hey, how am I doing? Where am I strong? Are they running higher than me? Are they doing anything? And he said, nope, just keep on doing what you're doing. You're fine. And from that moment, I knew as long as I didn't get a slider in 1 and 2 and I executed my start like how I had been, I knew that once I got through 1 and 2, I had the race. And all I had to do was keep on doing the same exact things that I was doing before. Be precise, keep my foot in it at a very calm and steady rate, and just log laps. There was no need to overdrive it or keep on going harder. There was no one throwing big bombs on me. So just keep on logging the laps. Log the laps and put them behind you. And I was counting the laps down in my head just because, I don't know, I don't feel like that's the most beneficial thing. But this race, I was talking to myself a lot. Like, I was like, okay, you're losing a little bit of grip here. Maybe try and back off your foot a little bit. Your posture's good, so there's probably just not as much grip right there. Try and move up. Try and move down. Try and slide a little bit harder. Try and enter a little bit higher with your foot out of it a little bit more. Keep the car a little bit straighter. Maybe hook the rut a little bit. Maybe the ruts have a little bit more grip. But ultimately, we came home with the win, and yeah, it was really cool to win in front of my home crowd again. I really appreciate Surcan putting up $5,000 for these races, and I really appreciate what Melissa does for the sport as well. Melissa, if you made it this far into the video, I feel like I should have thanked you right off the beginning, but thank you so much for bringing back 360 racing. I know that 410s have been winning these races, and I wish I would have put a 360 in it to show people that you can win these races with the 360. I truly believe that 360s and 410s can both compete in these events, and I feel like it's awesome to get everyone together and a bunch of cars and big car count. But when there's $5,000 on the line, I'm gonna put in a 410. But I believe for the next race, I am gonna just put in a 360 just to show people that you can still compete and run up in the front with a 360 at these races. There is no reason that should be an excuse that you're just getting beat by 410s. I feel like what Melissa's doing for the sport is absolutely amazing, and I am truly very appreciative for her bringing back 360 non-wing and bringing the 410s together and just ultimately bringing the car count together and promoting big races. And here's some donuts for you guys, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out Shop Caleb. We're gonna have some more shirts coming out here pretty soon, and yeah, see you guys at High Limit.
Like balancing out. Get it. Oh yeah. Got the dub tonight.
Oh, dance.
What's it doing, bro?